I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott, and this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 3, Episode 31. The Cadillac V-Series R LMDH GTP car by Wheeling Engineering and Action Express.
It's a very good pick for a race that happened a couple weeks ago.
Very good pick for a race that happened weeks ago, and the car is owned by NASCAR.
Yes, it is.
Salient point. Anyways. So, but it's a sexy looking car.
It is, but
anyways,
it got beat up a little bit.
Yep, gets beat up all the time. Hence the reason for the driver change.
Although not as badly as the other Cadillac the other week.
That's true.
So
yes. Anyways, on tonight's episode, we'll talk IMSA from Road America. It was actually a fantastic race.
Mm-hmm.
Came down to strategy to win it, so it was pretty exciting. We will welcome back NASCAR. We have a lot to say about that. Unfortunately, our NASCAR expert is not with us tonight.
What? Not with us. That's too bad.
Yeah, I know.
After a week of racing like this, he would be much.
You would have thought.
So, but I guess we'll have to do without him and do our best coverage of it by not talking about it. We'll just skip it.
We know where his priorities lie.
Yeah, clearly.
We will talk news and notes. As they say, lots of news breaking today.
What broke? Did I miss something?
What broke?
I think I missed something today.
You did miss something.
Clearly. Haven't been paying attention.
You missed something in IndyCar.
Oh, yes. Okay, that news.
That news. I think we caught up on all the Formula One news.
Yes, because the last thing that they did
was Carlos signing.
Yeah, I think it was just Carlos signing.
Okay.
Well, there's actually no. You know what? There is a couple of rumors floating around, but that's about it.
There we go.
So.
One involves an IndyCar driver.
Yes. Yeah, I just remembered. There's that one too.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let's start with IMSA from Road America.
Yes.
The land of cheese.
Was it the Sun? No.
It was What?
Was it it wasn't the Sunzio Grand Prix, was it this time? Or Sargento?
No. It's just the IMSA Sports Car Weekend. That's what they called it.
God, that is.
You mean the Sargento Cheese Car Weekend? No.
Yeah,
because
IndyCar usually has their race like that. What's IndyCar?
Mm-hmm.
They usually have their thing up somewhere. Where is it? Yes, Nope. They switched the Sanzio race around. I thought. Oh no. The IndyCar race this year was Expel Grand Prix.
Right.
A little lame, but.
There you go. Yep. Pretty lame. But anyways, let's start with qualifying. We had the Acuras.
Yeah.
Of Andretti with Wayne Taylor with Andretti 1-2 on the grid, which was promising. Promising.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, The 10 car put it on pole by 2.5 tenths over its teammate, and then they were half a tenth ahead of the uh, 01 Cadillac. So, but then after that, it was a pretty good chunk of time after that.
Yeah.
After
that.
So
about a half second after that.
Yeah.
And it was the Proton Mustang sampling 963. It was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
The wheeling car Cadillac was fifth. Then we had the BMWs, the first of the Porsches, the factory Porsches from Penske. Then the JDC Miller car, and then the other Porsche Penske car. And then we had the back of the grid. We had the number 24 BMW that was crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't register a time. But anyways, so that looked promising.
Yeah, it did. And then
in LMP2 had a dogfight. We had the AO Racing on pole, 99. That's Spike, right?
Yes.
Spike the Dragon. Then we had United Auto Sports second and third. In GTD Pro, it was a 1-2 for Cadillac. I almost said Cadillac Corvette. And then in GTD, it was the Kurloff Preston Mercedes and the Aston Martin, followed by a Ferrari, and then the BMW from Turner.
Yeah.
So that was pretty mixed up, so that was good. Move on to the race.
Well,
no, good.
Just one interesting note: both pro classes, front row lockouts by
teams.
So yeah,
yes.
So congrats
Excellent point there.
Congrats to Wayne Taylor and Pratt and Miller for doing that.
Then we had the start of the race. Actually, we no weather issues this year, which was nice. Start of the race, the 40, that's the blue Acura, and that was Louis Delatraz. He took it to his teammate into the first corner. The 40 jumped ahead of the 10, and away we went. Decent battling in the back there. I didn't, overall, it was at that point the Acura kind of pulled ahead, and then it started just the whole strategy thing and teams positioning themselves. LMP2 just was a continuous dogfight, so I'm not even gonna, I don't even want to get into it, but it was just back and forth. But it was like 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
Which was good. And then we had a kind of a bad weekend for the Lexus team.
Yeah. The BOP didn't quite favor them too nicely this week.
No. And then we had an early dropout also by the GTP BMW. So that was a tough one.
Yeah. But I mean, then again, that is the point of BOP. So
yes, it is.
You're gonna have some tracks where it's strong and others where it isn't. So
right. And so as teams cycled through their pit stops, the Porsche, the factory cars sort of started to push to the front, and this is when it kind of got a little. I think this is where it got. I think it took an interesting twist. The 2 Porsches and the 2 Acuras kind of went at it. The Cadillacs had a couple of offs here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Ganassi car got caught up in someone else's mess and lost it. Seb lost Bourdais lost a bunch of time, unfortunately, having to get the front end fixed. So they kind of took him out of contention. Durrani and Aiken were in the mix, but they just kept having missteps over their own feet, breaking themselves into a corner. They overran Canada corner, had to get out into the marbles there. They did take a little bit of a off-track excursion on the final corner on one lap, so they lost time there. Didn't lose a lap, but they just lost time to being up front. In the meantime, as the pit stops kind of flew, the number 40 made the first move towards the end of the race to pit, and thought it was going to work. And what they did with the strategy there was the 40 pitted, for the win, and the 10 was kind of going to be the rabbit, and they were going to end up they pitted early, and then they were going to pit late, and then make a charge to the field. So that's how they kind of split the strategy there. Unfortunately, the 40 ended up with a drive-through, which knocked it back to 8th place. Didn't lose a lap, but lost that amount of time that they had. Unfortunately, Delatraz, once again, just a mental mistake. I don't know how many more they're going to take. The kid's good, but he's just, mistakes here and there. In the meantime, the two factory cars up front were going at it. Cameron and Nazar had the lead for the longest time as they came through traffic, but it was Nick Tandy who pushed his way through traffic and made the right moves and went on to take the checkered flag. Ricky Taylor finished third. New tires and everything. He just he got to about, I think, how many seconds was he back? Was 1 second back. He couldn't. He got to about a second back, and he just couldn't close from there. And it was a combination of traffic, and I think the tires had kind of peaked at that point. So good effort there. Finished third, and then the Wheeling car finished fourth. Down in LMP2, it was an upset as Ben Keating and Ben Hanley took charge of the race late in the race and held on to win over Jerry Kraut and Scott Andrews in the JDC Miller car. Good outing for them, considering it was like a one-off outing for them. And then Spike was third with DL in Wiltshire in the Aaron Motorsports car fourth. In GTD Pro, it did not go Corvette's way.
No, you don't say so.
No. It was Nicky, who was it? Katzberg. Katzberg got caught up on the first lap. He got speared at turn 5 by
Run over.
Rockenfeller.
Dumped.
No. Rockenfeller. He went in, but he locked it up, and the car kept going, and unfortunately, he tagged the Corvette. The Corvette stalled. They got him going, but he was playing catch up from there. Not quite sure. Garcia and Sims, I'm not sure. They just, I think they lost pace during the race. And from that point on, it wasn't even, the Lexus were out, so they weren't even in it. Towards the end of the race, a lot of traffic came into play. They were, obviously the GTD cars in between all of the prototypes. But at the end of the day in GTD Pro, in a one-off entry, the Conquest Racing Ferrari 296 of Daniel Serra and Giacomo Alto took the win. So Daniel Serra, son of Chico Serra.
Yeah,
Brian Sellers and Madison Stowe were second. That was, I think, their best outing of the season, followed by Harder Racing, Gunn, and Ribera. So they continue on a strong thing. And then in a out of nowhere win in GTD, Turner Motorsports once again gets the field strategy right, and they win. Robbie Foley and Patrick Gallagher, followed by the McLaren of Inception Racing. And then somehow, this is absolutely amazing, the Gradient Racing Acura NSX finished third in GTD.
Yeah, I mean,
considering that and this might have been where Ricky lost the second, they got into the back of Ricky Taylor in turn 5. So we had an Acura on Acura crime there. What a GTD car was doing, trying to mix it up with a GTP car, I have no idea. Still surprised. And so, anyways, so they finished third, but I'm sure there was quite a conversation after that about that incident. So kind of where we ended up. And then the rest of the weekend was jam-packed with Porsche Cup, Mustang Challenge, and the Michelin Pilot Challenge. Unfortunately, didn't get to see any of those.
No, but we did have our favorite team win in TCR.
Oh yeah, the Alpha one. Yep, the Alpha one. So it's feast or famine at Road America for the Alpha. It either goes in flame or wins.
It's feast or famine every race with that car. If it finishes, it wins. If it doesn't, if it doesn't win, it doesn't finish the race.
That's right. Anyways,
I mean, not every race, but like in general, that's what it feels like with that car.
That's what it feels like. All right, so let's quick look at the points. Cameron and Nazar are 100 points ahead of Tandy and Jaminet, who have a 75-point lead over Bourdais and Van der Zande. Aiken and Durrani are next, and then we have the 2 Acuras, and then the 2 BMWs. Everyone else is running the endurance series, so the Lamborghini doesn't factor in.
Yeah.
All right. Quick look at LMP2 if I can get that to pull up. So we have Tom Dillman and Nick Boulay leading. We got a 27-point lead over Felipe Fraga and Gar Robinson. And then there's about 60 points to Dial, who's right now. Ryan's, because they did a driver change in that car, Ryan's solely in third, and he's ahead of Hanley and Keating. Let's take a look at GTD Pro. Okay, GTD Pro is still Rexy or Roxy, whatever you want to call it. It was Roxy this weekend. Lauren Heinrich is leading because now Seb Prio is not driving the car. So Lauren, it could be potentially the sole winner. He's got a 76-point lead over Ross Gunn, followed by Ben Barnicoat and Jack Hawksworth, and then the Corvette of Garcia and Sim. And we'll move to GTD. It's been a while since we actually went through the points here.
Yeah.
GTD, it's the Windward car of Philip Ellis and Russell Ward leading. Robbie Foley and Patrick Gallagher are... Oh boy, they are almost 200 points behind. So right now, that's kind of where that is.
Yeah, but the IMSA point system is like, it's a lot of points that they put into a round.
Yeah. So if you have a problem, you can switch it up, pretty quickly. Next up for GTD is and GTD Pro is VIR.
Yes.
LMP2 and LMP2. Oh, wait a minute. It's actually Indy the next race. No, hold on.
No. It should be.
No, it's VIR.
It should be VIR.
Yep. So that'll be GTD Pro and GTD. That'll be a GT car festival, and then we go to Indy after that.
Yep.
for 6 hours, and then we finished the season at Road Atlanta.
Mhm.
So still 3 races left for the GT cars, 2 left for the LMP and GTP cars. And we have like 16 hours of racing for those guys, so quite a bit left to go.
Yes.
All right.
And
Just on some IMSA, we'll talk some IMSA news right now. It was confirmed after the Road America race that Gradient Racing will be switching to a Mustang for 2025. And they will be retiring the Acura.
yeah, it's unfortunate to see Acura go, but
yeah, don't know. Then see if they'll end up somewhere else with another team. But and Gradient's been a long time Acura supporter. But we have, and it'll be 2 new drivers in the car. Also, so we'll see what happens. They'll still be in GTD AM or whatever you want to call it. But there we go. All right, why don't we move to before we get to NASCAR? Let's talk some other news. IndyCar.
Well, hold on. We're saving NASCAR for last.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it because I was kind of hoping our NASCAR expert might have a change of heart and call in, giving him an opportunity.
Well, all right, we need to make sure he's aware of this.
Gonna get him on the bat phone.
Yeah, we'll get him on the phone.
All right.
Sorry. Continue. News this week.
Big news in IMSA IndyCar. And this had kind of percolated up last week along with another story. Marshall Pruitt had thrown this little nugget out about Malukas. Marshall had heard a couple things. He reached out to Malukas and he denied having a deal in place with the team one of the teams that Marshall was led to believe. But he didn't say much more. So listen to Marshall's podcast that he released this week. He kind of explained the whole situation. Marshall did allude to 2 options that were left. Well, three. It sounded like he was not going to be going back to MSR. Marshall definitely thought that was not happening. But he'd gone down the road with RLL getting excluded. He thought it was going down the road of Prema or maybe Foyt. So, but with Foyt, it's like Santino brings some cash to that. Stingray Robb brings cash. But with Malukas, he's been trying not to have to, fork over the money. So, that was kind of why Marshall was kind of a little bit on the fence about that. But news broke today that Malukas has signed with Foyt.
Yeah, definitely in
2025. Now, I'm going to take it. I like to take it one step further too. Well, first off, I think it's great for Foyt now. I mean, I know we like to have fun with to have fun with Santino, but he has finished in the top 10 this year, quite a bit.
Yes.
So good news there. So I think with Malukas and Santino, I think that kind of moves them in another direction. Now I'm curious where the sponsorship from Lucas's car is going to come from. That's what I'm curious about. Because in the articles that have been put out there by everybody, David is going to be a paid driver. There is no family money going to the team.
Yeah.
So it's sponsorship. Now I'm kind of curious. He's a young American, and he's not as, I would say, volatile as Santino. So if I was a certain high level team that had an affiliation with the Foyt team, and have a driver or two that, one driver who might be out of contract in the next year or two. Might I want to bring that young American in? That being Penske. And I know you guys are all for Rossi, but I think Penske's going to try and go younger because they got to start backfilling. I hate to say it. I know Newgarden and McLaughlin are not they're not old, but Will's north of 40, so
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I don't think I guess the only thing of why I'm sticking to Rossi is just like he seems like a very good Penske driver.
Yeah.
Just with
Yeah.
the attitude
Yep.
and how he carries
Attitude, the
himself, and
professionalism. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely,
al-
absolutely.
although it's saying that I don't know if the um his comments on his podcast are helping him, but we'll see.
I haven't listened
Oh,
recently, but anyways.
just just him, like many other drivers, frustrated about the St. Pete weekend earlier this year.
Oh yeah, well,
So
So what are you saying? Colton's not going to be driving there?
there's a bunch of guys that I'm sure would love to have that seat, but just because it'll be a competitive car every week pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the guys have been a bit more outspoken, so
Well,
I wonder how that'll play into it,
yeah.
or if
And
everyone will just have a memory of a
some of the guys
goldfish
on
and forget about it.
and some of the guys in Penske haven't been so transparent. So
That's true.
Two-way street.
It
So,
does.
anyways, so now we're still stuck with So now we have an open seat at MSR, and obviously, logically, you would think. Well, I have to think that Rossi's a candidate for that seat.
Yes.
Okay. I also have to think. I think Ross is a candidate for 3 seats. I hate that I'm going to just go down this road.
Okay.
Actually, I think 4. I'm going to say 4 seats. And one is probably not even in play, but it could be in play. I think the other 2 of note are Rael Letterman, who would definitely adding Rossi to that roster would actually, I think, up their game quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think he'd be a good compliment to Graham, and they got Pietro there. So I think that would be a good, possibly good fit. But Yuri Vips now is in play too.
Right. And Lundgaard is.
So
where's Lundgaard going?
He's
again?
gone. He's going to McLaren.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a question of whether or not Pietro comes back, or Rossi goes over. And if Vips goes, then it's either Rossi replaces. Well, Vips going to do one of 2 things. He's either going to replace Fittipaldi, and Rossi's going to replace Lundgaard, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And if Pietro stays, because he is able to generate sponsorship, I think Vip's going to take the ride, and that would put Rossi into either MSR or possibly Prema.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Prema, he's getting paid. He's not going to be bringing any money there. He does, I think he ran with them in Formula 3 or Formula 2. Not 100% certain, but I think he did. So he knows the team, basically. But the other thing is, could he go to Ed Carpenter Racing?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's not. Other than potentially not having a competitive car week in and week out. I mean, you would definitely be good
Well,
fine on the ovals.
what? Renus, it's Renus VK, right?
Yeah.
That's down there. The problem they have is the second driver. Okay. Now Ed's fine on the ovals.
Yeah.
It's their second driver
Mm-hmm.
that they have a problem. They always go 3 cars on the ovals. That's where their issue is. So let's say Renus stays, Rossi goes there. Rossi elevates that car.
I mean,
okay.
I guess my only question is, can they afford him?
Can Ed Carpenter Racing afford Rossi?
Yeah, because who's the other driver?
Where does Ed get his money?
That's a good point. I'm not.
Who's his stepfather?
Oh, I don't know this. Hold on. I could probably Google search it. Or hold on.
It's
too close
Tony George. It's Tony George.
Okay.
So he's got a lot of the infrastructure money comes from the George Holman family and their businesses. Okay. Then they go and get sponsorship, things like that, to move the team along. So yes, I think they could. Also, Rossi and Carpenter own a plane together.
Okay. Yeah.
So
actually,
they're tight. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm kind of like, if things fall through, then Rossi may land there.
Yeah.
I think my personal opinion, I think he's going to MSR.
Yeah, I think MSR would be the more logical seat, because the other thing too is it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't discount Christian Rasmussen either. He's not terrible, but I understand.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But then you have if Vips goes to Ray Hall, but then you have 2 other guys that are floating around right now, and that is Teo Porcher and Callum Ilott. Now, the question is whether Callum stays in WEC with Jota going to the Cadillac. Does he stay there? Or does Porsche want to keep him? Because they did have, that's the car. That car, as a privateer car, won a WEC race.
Yeah.
So those two, so Ilott's probably held in high regard at Porsche. So the question is, does he stay with Jota and go into the Cadillac program, or is it, but he does want to do IndyCar. So, there's that. So there's those 2 guys, and, they're floating around. I could see Teo going to probably Prema. And if they go the young driver route, even though he says he doesn't want to, he wants to be a pay driver, I would have to say that that's the spot where Sargent lands. Unless he goes to Dale Coyne, he's going to have to pay there.
Right.
So, but that's all I got right now. So, interesting.
Yeah, sure is.
I have to think the new Rossi's news is. I think that Rossi's the next one that's going to be signed.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like the biggest puzzle piece to
right now
to fall into place. Yeah, because once he goes, that'll either make stuff less complicated or could make it more complicated, depending on if he does something that's completely out of the realm of what we're thinking right now too. So
so that but that was a very surprising mood today. So, but I think there's somewhere else that this might lead with Malukas. So, but I think it's good news for Foyt, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we jump to NASCAR real quick?
Yes, we should.
Oh, wait. Who dis?
It's your favorite Nathan Lavender. That's who it is. How's it going, fellas? It's been a hot minute.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man. You found the soundboard.
We get to break up these soundboards. But I mean,
Are you at,
where do I begin?
before we start this? Are you at sea?
Yeah. No, I'm not at sea. I have a ship assignment.
I know that.
And I should be. I'm going to be shipping out Monday. I think is the ship out date. But I should be leaving the campus to go to Norfolk, Virginia, because the Maersk Montana is the ship I'll be getting on, and that ship
it leaves
is
from Norfolk.
Yep, the port there. So
Yeah,
and then I'll be heading over to Europe. So yeah, Belgium, the Netherlands, say hi to
our
Max.
F1 correspondent live.
Yeah, right, and Germany. I'll say hi to let's see, Vettel, right, Hulkenberg.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
oh yeah, so it's never been to Europe, so I'm excited. Anyway, NASCAR.
Excited to have Nate, our NASCAR expert, back.
I couldn't bite my tongue over this race. I mean, just
no, we couldn't.
You know what I mean? This was
so. This race, I like Richmond.
I do, and can I just begin that we had the option tire too. So this was kind of a interesting.
It was kind of like it was like an IndyCar race.
Yeah. So we had the traditional tire, right, or IndyCar, right? The two option tires, right? So kind of had that flavor to it.
Prime and the option.
Yep, prime. Option.
The only drawback to this race, and I it's kind of good that the race was on Sunday because I think Saturday we got it rained out. But it's like, why is it on Sunday? I know why it was on Sunday because it was the Olympics. It was the end of the Olympics, so they put it on Sunday. I mean, which was fine, but anyways.
Right. And here I am watching some of the Olympics and going, like, hearing Lee Diffie still. I'm like, oh, he's following me, like, and then I look around, and there he is.
Yeah, and you get to you get to have him all next year. On NASCAR. So.
Isn't it great? Like, and I'm hearing other students play the different racing events, like the 400 meter, right? Yeah. And then I just hear his voice. I'm like, oh my god, like about to have a stroke.
Did he say young Jordan Taylor?
No. Richardson comes across the line. Like, I'm just, oh my god.
All right.
And it's so anyway,
let's get into this race. And just from the get-go, I mean, we don't really need to talk much about the race. We just have to talk about the last.
Oh, we don't.
Literally.
Okay, all right. Daniel Suarez.
Honestly,
I gotta give him
huh?
Daniel Suarez, because he was one of the first drivers to get on the softer tire and made amazing time through the field. And Michael McDowell. So there's some things to note with this special tire.
Right.
I think it was.
But also,
that was a huge
hold on.
The star of the race.
Yeah.
No joke, is one of our all-time just hated drivers, Austin Dillon. I mean, legit led the race.
Yeah, legitimately had a fast car.
And Nate texted me going, he's going to win this. And we were both like, God knows.
I really hated saying this. I was like,
yeah, I know. It was killing us. It was killing us.
Oh, hold on.
And
I'm Nate.
Yeah.
You said we're going to talk about the whole race. When does the whole race ever matter in a NASCAR race?
Oh, you got stage 1, you got stage 2, stage 3.
I'm going to stick to my point. I understand what happened this race. I understand what happened this race, but
you watch the first 10 laps and then the last 10.
That's all you need. That's all you need. And this week, all you needed was the last 2.
But I enjoyed all the laps. I sat there.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I didn't enjoy all of them.
You were going to kick that TV in. You were ready to kick that TV in.
Oh, but I'm Sean. I'm getting there.
Right. So, so we get, Nate's texting. I'm like going, this is not happening. This is possibly like Santino Ferrucci winning a race. And
like the way he would win a race too.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Dude,
And,
out of four, like
you know,
wheels someone else and
I'm
wins.
I'm like sitting there going, "This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck." And then we pan to Ricky Stenhouse, and I'm like, "Oh,
Look,
this is
it's a
good."
bird.
And
It's a plane. No, it's
and he
Ricky
goes,
Stenhouse wrecking someone.
"Who was it? Who was it? Did he go? Justin Haley? He went under."
No, Ryan Priest.
Ryan Priest. He went.
Yeah.
Well, I thought at first it was Ryan Priest's fault, but I rewatched it.
No, Ricky Stenhouse forgot how to drive.
Yeah,
and
forgot how to
just-
drive, and clearly just drove into him. This is a
right in front of the
foreshadowing
leader, Austin Dillon.
yeah, foreshadowing what is to come. And
Yeah.
the best part was plows it into the fence, and the yellow flag comes out, and we got to go green white checker, and Grandpa
Here we
Richard,
go.
Grandpa Richard is not happy.
No.
No.
Neither is Austin. Neither is the
Neither is
team.
Austin. I think at that point he probably I think he might have soiled his pants.
Yeah,
Because
couldn't camouflage that.
Yeah, right, with the hunter color.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because he's a big outdoorsman.
Yeah.
And so now now everybody pits.
And on the soft tire, everyone's on the
So
soft
now
tire.
they go onto the soft tire, right?
Yep. Max
So
grip.
they come out.
What's the
come
worst
out-
that could happen?
Right. Yeah, you never know. Comes out,
Especially at Richmond.
and everyone's going, you should really take the top lane because that's where the most grip is. And what's he do?
He
Our
takes the
boy
bottom.
Austin takes
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
like,
now
no, I got this guy.
he
Watch
takes the bottom and puts himself in probably the worst spot possible.
on the restart, and against the guy who's
Because
been great at restarts all
he's
year,
got-
Joey
he's-
Logano.
He's got Logano, not with the web glove. Did you get that? Not with the web glove.
I did.
Okay. On the outside.
I
But
was just gonna let it roll.
what do you got?
See, there it
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, right on cue.
This is a whole new level with this. And then we have right behind him the one this is probably the person. There's two guys. I mean this is hard. This is three of the guys that I absolutely hate in NASCAR.
Just all together, and
All together. The only thing that would have made it. The only thing that would have made it was Brad in fourth.
No. See, he would have just snuck through. And hey, can I just bring something up real quick?
Yeah.
How about that Darlington race? I've been waiting to just break out that. But anyway, so back to the race.
Unfortunately, we didn't see it, so I can't even remember it. So,
best race
all right,
of the year.
so now we set the field. We come around, and the waxed eyebrow kid doesn't even get it going. I'm surprised Denny didn't turn him. He didn't go.
He didn't go. And Joe Logano had a great run on the outside.
And then Logano went all the way around the outside and cleared him. And Jeff Burton almost had a heart attack.
And Steve Letarte.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know those two. Anyway.
Yeah, they're trying to explain to everyone the soft tire and the primary tire, right? And them explaining it to everyone. Great quality television, right? So.
Yep. Almost as bad as what they bring to the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is nothing.
Nothing.
And so Joey gets out, goes around, gets the white flag. I'm like, well,
here we go. All right, Joey, come on.
And I'm on the anybody but Dylan thing here because I just feel like I can't take this.
I'm actually kind of in my seat going thank God.
Thank God. Goes down the back straight. What do you think, Nate? Car and a half, 2-car length lead?
No, 3 or 4 car lengths, I'd say.
You think it was 3 or 4?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was
Joey rolls it into 3 like you always do.
Okay,
but
Joey's got this. And then I hear torpedo noises.
This was unreal. Just
He was never going to make the corner.
Literally, he was never going to make the corner, and he literally took him out.
Do you think
Austin
he was
Dillon.
trying to let Joey Logano know about the Bass Pro Shops hunting sale? Is that what it was?
Could have been. And takes him out. I got nothing on it. He clearly took him out. So Logano spins around.
Cleaned him out. All right.
Right.
And here comes
now
Denny Hamlin.
Now, Dylan, with his fantastic car control, bounces off the wall, comes down, gets it straightened out. All of a sudden, Denny goes by, realizes he goes by, and turns left, right into his right rear, and hooks Denny and takes him out.
You know,
and Denny goes into he went heavy into the wall.
Pancake the wall.
He did. He pancakes the wall, and there he goes. He wins. Missed the 32nd point, wins, and now is in the playoffs. And
I think that's the first time in NASCAR history that I've seen second or third place take out two cars just to win a race.
Yeah.
That's never happened at Talladega, Daytona.
All right.
No other short track either. So I don't think that's ever happened.
Needless to say, that started the whole thing. Now, then we got, Joey goes in the pits, and there's 8,000 members.
He did a burnout in front of people.
He did. I know, but there was 12,000. There were 12,000 members of the Dillon Childress family there, and it's apparently he's up for attempted murder on all of them apparently because Grandpa Richard wasn't too thrilled with that.
What do you think?
Denny was looking to do something, but I think Denny just did it. But the one thing, and I really wish he did it because Tyler Reddick was going to clean him out.
Coming to the checkered.
He was going to clean him out after the check-in, and I think somebody on the radio said, "Don't," and he let off. And I was like, "Damn it!
Come on!" Well, speaking of which, Sean, you know what the crew member in the spotter crew chief said to Dylan during all that?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So we get to that, and then we get up. He does his whole shenanigans, gets out of the car, and it's like
Dylan.
As Logano. This is where I absolutely agree with Logano.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's like, thank God, all that and he's literally said crap, and I go, it is.
Yeah, it was. And
then he pulls the ultimate Bush move, and he takes his kid because this way, no one's going to come up. And
no one can
touch him. All right. There's going to be no fight. All right. So he's hiding behind a 2-year-old.
I got a 2-year-old. It's fine.
Right. The only other thing that he could have hid behind was Ty.
And he's actually in 32nd, right, in the race.
Right. And the best part was, I will say this, the interviews outside of him, because he's like, I had to do it, whatever. I can't, I'm done with him. The interviews with Logano, Hamlin, this is the most I've watched a NASCAR race all season, after the race.
Yeah.
And even Darrell Wallace. Darrell goes, I was going to congratulate him, but not now. Because he realized he got hosed.
Well, because he's in. I think he's on the bubble. He's on the bubble.
Is right. Now he's even more hosed. So, and it was somebody else. I forget who else. Was it Suarez? No, did Suarez have a win?
Suarez has a win. He has a win.
Wait, all right. There's somebody else
won
that
Atlanta
got hosed too. But oh my god!
But there's a lot of players now that are kind of on the fence now. Chris Buescher, right?
Yeah,
has to win.
Right, has to win. Right. So this turd with this move, Anyways, so Nate, let's talk about it. All right,
let's check it out.
That was not a bump and run.
No, that was not. No, that was okay. That was more than a bump
all I get.
That was a
all right.
Screw
so
you.
All I get is right, and then you get the. I don't know where you get these fans of Dale Senior. They're all like, "Oh, Senior would have cleaned them out too." No, Senior wouldn't have cleaned them out. He would have. You would have got the bump and run, or Dale would have put the nose of the car down on his right side into your left rear and moved you. That's what you were going to get from him. Everyone's going, oh, he would have cleaned him out. Yeah, no, he would have cleaned him out if he was like 15th place and you wrecked his race. He would have cleaned you out, but that wasn't going to happen. So that can go out the window. But that was not a bump and run.
No, by no means. But that's the thing. A bump and run is one thing, but he took out 2 cars.
And I have no problem with a bump and run on a short track or intermediate. Well, that Richmond's a short track, right? Because it's not really an intermediate, right? So it's
part of it.
That's
right?
You see it in modified racing, everything. The bump and run. Now, when you see guys torpedo guys on short tracks like that guy is gone. He's lucky he gets back to the trailer in one piece. And
well, that's just it. And how does it trickle down from there? Right. This is at the top tier.
Right. And this is where Denny went with it, which I 100% agree with Denny on. This is bad. I'm like agreeing with Logano and Denny. This is like not even good.
What universe are we in? Like, right?
I know, really. It only took Austin Dillon to, open the what do they call that? It's like scientific thing, whatever. Anyways, the hole in the universe or whatever, to get the universe to the line. Jesus H. I mean, then not even bump and run him, but then he hooks Denny.
Just dead left.
What is that? What's the one thing in NASCAR they hate? When you hook somebody in the rear, right?
Yeah. And they did this to
Darrell?
Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott. Darrell Wallace.
Darrell Wallace.
Yeah, he did it to Kyle Larson at Las Vegas. And Chase Elliott did it to Denny Hamlin in the Coke 600 one year.
Yep.
And suspensions, fines, all that. But where is the suspension of fines? This was way worse.
This was way worse. And where is NASCAR right now? Hasn't said a what did we hear from Elton Sawyer? Oh, we'll know by Tuesday. We have to look at the data and say, no, look at what?
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
I haven't heard anything except Denny Hamlin go off.
Right. Well, no, then we had Austin Dillon, like he was kissing ass on Dale Jr.'s show, and I was like, I lost all respect that Dale Jr. had him on there. I was like, really? Well, and the biggest thing out of this is they're gonna fine Logano for his antics in the pit lane, and I'm gonna go. Well, what were 37,000 members of the Dillon Childress family doing in the pit lane on a live track? That's what I want to know.
The pit road, the cars are still coming down pit road. You can't have all those people.
So that whole thing. I'm surprised. You know what it was? I'm surprised Grandpa Richard didn't arm them all with weapons. Like I'm surprised.
Yeah, there's a sale going on. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but anyway.
Oh my God, it's just too easy.
I'm still like, this is like, where is this going?
Right.
Because
but now
he's. I mean,
they don't care.
I'm going to guarantee.
They're only going to
apparently NASCAR. No, NASCAR doesn't care because RCR won. Now, if that was Kyle Busch who drives for RCR did that, Kyle would be like right now be banned from like NASCAR for life. Right?
Yeah, now. You're out of the chase. You can't do it.
Yeah. No, we'll see you in.
You can keep the win, but we're taking out of the chase.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2026.
Yeah, some BS.
That like Kyle's gone for the entire year and a half. But this turd, stayed. I mean, this kid has. Logano's right. He's got no talent. He has zero talent. He won the Daytona 500 by wrecking everybody.
Yeah.
There's no. He has no consequences because he's got as long as Grandpa's like funding the ride, he's got no consequences. It's friggin' ridiculous.
But this is how he's gotten all of his wins. They're all Mickey
I know.
Mouse
He's
wins.
wrecked. Yeah, he's always he's wrecked somebody.
How did he win the Daytona 500, Sean? How did he win the Daytona 500? He dumped Eric Almirola.
Yeah, he dumped him.
Right?
He dumped him at 200 and something miles an hour. He dumped him. Like, come on.
I know. And this is, if it was any other driver,
right,
they'd lose their ride. They'd lose their ride.
So the guys that are on the bubble right now. So Busher, Wallace, and whoever else there is, they have every right to.
Kyle Busch has to win the race now. And he's someone I think would go further than 16th in the playoffs. So
Well,
Something to think about.
Man, I really kind of wish Reddick cleaned them out, though. I really do.
Just after the race, because you have both
Or
Denny Hamlin
just
cars finishing second and third. Right?
it would have been it just would have been just him, and then but you can see right as he got there, he kind of slowed up, and it was like somebody was on the radio telling him, and I was like, oh, you dummy, you could have just done it. You know, it would have been like that would have been almost as good as who did Kenseth wreck?
Oh, Logano.
Yeah, that would have been almost as good as right.
Come on, man. I know you're on the side tonight, but let's not forget everything.
No, I forgot. I couldn't remember. I forget. Yeah. I keep forgetting like it's Logano, but it's no. I just couldn't remember because I'm like all wound up about this. I know, and I'm on Logano's side, and that, but they are 100. Both of those guys are 100% right.
Absolutely, because now it's like moving forward.
And then Paul Wolf.
Paul Wolf. He had a
Paul
lot
Wolf had he had a lot to say, and he's absolutely right. He goes, "Oh, so I guess this sets the tone for every young driver coming up through here that you can just wreck your way to the top. That's what it is."
But you know what else, Sean? You know what?
But you can't because you can't do it unless your dad owns the team or your grandfather owns the team. Because there's only a certain point you're gonna at some point, dude, you can't keep wrecking cars because we can't afford it. Well,
think about this too, Sean. Look, because Denny Hamlin said this on his podcast. He was like, "You know what this does? What? Think about Phoenix, right? All you have to do is wreck 3 other cars and you win the championship."
Right.
That's what this is starting to stir into, and he's 100% right, because there's going to be that if that's what is allowed, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. You got yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
serious
in open wheel racing. You can't. You got Christian. It's more track limits, right? Open wheel racing, or the weaving under braking.
Well, because it's one move. Like if you're going to block or someone. Because remember, Castroneves got hosed on a restart at Edmonton one time and freaked the fuck out. An official.
I mean, on the road side of stuff, they've been trying to get it down to the one move, and then that's all you can do. But you can't. But that one move can't be in reaction to another driver. So,
right.
The thing with open wheel racing or any Formula Car racing is it's not advantageous to do it all that often, because there's a huge risk that you're going to wreck the car and your race is done.
Right.
Whereas with like sports car racing, you can, or I shouldn't say sports car racing, any race with fenders on that you can that you're not as much of a risk with, like you can get away with it.
Yeah, but the difference is between NASCAR and everyone else. Let's take open wheel out of it, because I mean, in open wheel, look, there's penalty, okay? Regardless, if you cross track limits, you move under braking, whatever, there's a drive-through penalty, whatever. In sports car racing, if you did what Dylan did, one of two things are happening, or you're gonna get a drive-through, or you're gonna get the old, stop, come into the pits and stop and hold.
I mean, the good thing about IndyCar and WEC, I'll say, is whether they're right or wrong, they dish out penalties pretty quick. And
IndyCar needs
They wait until
IndyCar with the penalties. I agree. IndyCar with their yellow flags is a whole nother thing. But you're 100% right, Christian. You're 100% right.
So I mean, there's some series that are on top of that stuff. So and it'll be cut and dry about what you're doing. But yeah.
Anyways. But this whole thing from Elton Sawyer. Well, we'll take back the data. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it on Tuesday, and we're like, dude, it's Tuesday, and what are you looking at, and what didn't you have to hear?
Yeah. So as of recording this podcast, nothing has changed. So
I just refreshed. I refreshed my racer page and I got nothing.
No, I know. I just
But Nate,
making sure.
they have the audio of the guy screaming at him to wreck him.
That's what I mean. That's where it makes not
And then-
only the
and
driver
then-
made it worse,
and
but
then-
now it's
then-
like you have
then you
someone
got-
saying this.
Then you got Grampy Richard going, he did what he had to do. Oh, so he can wreck it. He can get wrecked. He can wreck anyone, right? It was so. That was just it was just, you know what? There's a reason. Honestly, there's a reason why people call it NASCAR, and that's one of the reasons. And there's another reason why they want, NASCAR fans want to be taken seriously. They're racing seriously, and then this demolition derby happens. I mean, hell, in 2 weeks I can go to the Marshfield Fair here in Mass, and watch the demolition derby, and some guy's going to just take some guy out. I mean, come on, that was exactly what that was. This was garbage.
Yeah.
I was looking through Twitter, and I mean, Twitter freaking blew up after this. But I think the best tweet was what was it? It was iRacing saying like, "Don't do this." That one had me laughing on the floor.
Their social media has been pretty good of late.
Yeah, I'm just like that. How else can you sum that up?
But oh man,
do that.
All right, so
this is definitely
go ahead, Christian.
This stuff is like I've gotten into oval racing from all the IndyCar stuff. I've enjoyed it. Got watching more short track stuff, but I mean, again, like just the high
level NASCAR stuff. This is why you can't watch it.
And then I mean, like you guys are saying too, like it will trickle down to the lower levels too. That's just the thing that I can't jive with at all in oval racing.
Right.
What keeps me away from it, because it's like, dude, I don't. You can be angry and pissed off that you made.
I love watching the modifieds. I like watching the modifieds. The reason I like watching the modifieds is it's two things. First, the racing's very close, and the guys are very talented. And they, you know what, the bump and run is an art, not. But the other thing that keeps everyone honest in that, it is to a degree open wheel racing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I have no problem with that. If I go sprint car racing on the pavement, with the midgets and stuff, and Christian and I saw this, there's none of that crap going on.
No.
Guys get into it. Guys get into each other just by happenstance. They don't. There's no retaliation.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that's increasing risk with open wheels is it definitely keeps everyone a bit more honest, and that's where it keeps all this crap out.
Yeah, look, I have no problem in sports car racing, like especially like Trans Am, Mazda MX-5. Look, I have no problem with when you give the bump and run. I have no problem with it.
No,
you know what?
Yeah,
I have no problem with it. Okay, when you literally a bump and run is when you're right on the guy's bumper and you move them. Okay,
Right.
When you drive into somebody, that's a whole nother thing.
And you're never going to make the corner.
Yeah. No,
and you use them as your brakes.
Yeah. So, Nate, what happens at Michigan this week?
Well, hey, let's. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to think two things. Logano.
There's going to be a new winner.
Logano and Hamlin are locked in, right? Is Logano's in, right?
Yeah, they're both in.
And so is Austin Dillon, Sean.
Well,
as of right now.
Oh, God.
As of right now. And not
Anyways, so let's just. I know.
Both Hamlin and Logano are in.
Okay, so does payback come this weekend, or does it come? I think honestly, he's gonna. You know what? If Logano gets near him, or Hamlin gets near him, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna crowd him.
Okay? They're not gonna give a crap. They're They're
They're
just
not
gonna.
because honestly, if you try and wreck them there, you're going to wreck the whole field.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's any of those fast tracks like Michigan.
Now, when
Daytona.
we get to the first race in the playoffs, and assuming he hasn't gotten wrecked yet, he's getting it right there.
Oh yeah. Oh, within definitely the first 3 races, because they're going to eliminate him so freaking fast.
Yeah,
They're going to make sure he's never not advancing.
Do we have Watkins Glen left?
The Watkins Glen is the second race of the playoffs. The first round of the playoffs goes Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol.
You know where I'd love to see it.
Atlanta's the first race.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't. No, because that's too. No, Watkins Glen. You know where I'd love to see it. Right in the horseshoe.
Oh,
right as they go into the horseshoe, and they just light him up.
That's crazy shot.
I know, but it would be fantastic.
Yeah,
he goes to turn. He goes to turn in, and someone just cleans him out, and he goes to the left of the track. Into the barrier on the left.
There's some guys that have had some nasty accidents there, man.
JD McDuffie did not come back.
Yeah.
Hence the reason they put the chicane in there. Tommy Kendall, not in a NASCAR car, but in a sports car.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman.
Imagine that. That could be the place he gets wrecked. That might be the place.
I mean,
is it or do they go to the Roval?
Not until the second round.
Oh, there's another place he could get wrecked.
Well, is
Allmendinger in that race?
I mean, do you?
Yes.
Do
Michigan?
you? Yeah. Are the road courses Dylan's strong suit?
No.
Okay.
That's why you want to. That's why you should wreck him. Because if he has a bad. No, because if he wreck him and has a bad finish, then he's liable to get bounced out of the point and not advance.
No, but why? But why do it at one of his weaker tracks when you could do it at a stronger track?
Because if you try and do it, say at Atlanta or something, you run the risk of if he's in the middle of the pack and they're drafting and they ideally it would be a Talladega and he just goes flipping down the back straight. That would be my all-time favorite moment. But that ain't gonna happen.
I don't want to advocate for this guy getting.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. But I was just saying if you take him out at a weaker track, it's harder for him to bounce back.
Why? Because he's
already behind the 8 ball.
I think Bristol would be the better one to do it at. Although,
but Bristol he'll bounce off the wall and take somebody else out. That's what we don't want to have.
I mean,
but Atlanta would be much worse for the rest of the field. I would.
So how about this? Atlanta, they let him lead, and Logano drafts up on him and then takes him out. Would that work?
Last lap.
Again, the whole thing is the
whole thing
probably
is
in front of the field.
The whole thing is he should be DQ'd and not even in. That's the whole thing, and NASCAR won't do it.
That's just it. Now you have even a bigger problem.
So now you got the bounty, like literally. No joke, right?
It's true.
Right. So if you just do the right thing and say he's disqualified, disqualified. The win goes to Denny. Finished second. The win goes to Denny. All right, and he's DQ'd. Then fine. Then the world's all. That's the right thing to do. But they're not doing that because we don't want to upset Richard.
No,
because in some way, if you upset Richard, apparently you're upsetting St. Dale, which is far from anything.
Yeah, and the fans that are watching Dylan's life in the fast lane.
Trust me, Dale Earnhardt Sr. fans are not Austin Dillon fans. Okay, there is absolutely no way.
There's a big difference. A lot of those fans are.
It's senior. Yeah, a lot of those fans are pissed that he's driving a number 3 car. Their only feeling is the only person that should be driving the 3 is Junior, and Junior won't drive the 3 because he wants his own identity. Well, when he was driving, not now. But I mean, the 3 is. I know it's Childress' number, but anyways.
But Sean, think of this, right? There's 3 races until the playoffs begin. There's Michigan coming up this weekend, and then we have Daytona, right? The 400 miles there, and then Darlington is the last regular season race. So the Southern 500.
Wait a minute. They go Darlington again?
Yes.
They
This
go-
time it's the Southern 500.
Oh, it's 400. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. It's
Because
Michigan's 400, Daytona's 400, and Darlington's 500.
Darlington's 500. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Why is and somebody tell me why Daytona is not on July 4th?
I'll tell you why.
You're
Because they wanted to make it a chase cutoff race for some reason,
Oh,
and then they moved it up. And now
I know, but
now it goes to the streets of Chicago for some reason. Which I don't.
anyways, all right.
you are asking questions logically about a situation that doesn't use logic. So
all right.
let's
So
stop.
this weekend we have well, we're not going to pick NASCAR because we don't pick NASCAR. IndyCar, we have Worldwide Technology Raceways this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. All right, Nate, you need a winner?
And a dark horse, or just a winner?
Winner and a dark horse.
All right.
I have mine.
I have mine too. I have let's see, Joseph Newgarden winning, and my dark horse is David Malukas.
Oh, I like that.
You bastard.
All right.
I'm good. What can I say?
Malukas was going to be my dark horse. Now I got to pick something else.
No.
You can pick him.
All right. I know that was the thing.
All right. Who'd you have to win?
I was gonna go McLaughlin to win, and then
It's McLaughlin. It's called McLaughlin.
Yeah. Well, do we have Diffie back?
No, he's done.
No. Oh, that's right. They're done.
He's done.
That's right.
He's done. I think we actually have Kevin Lee calling the race.
Oh man. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. So I got Scott McLaughlin.
Laughlin.
Jeez. The Kiwi. He's gonna win, and then we'll stick with Malukas. Why not? Because
Okay.
we'll just keep it.
I'm gonna go for the win. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put the curse on Team Penske. I'm gonna go Will Power.
All right.
Yes.
And my dark horse is gonna be Connor Daly.
That's good.
All right.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. But Will Power needs these points to.
Will Power.
Yeah, he needs these points to be a threat in this championship because it's him and Scott Dixon that have the nearest chance, and not too far behind is Colton Herta and Pato O'Ward.
I know,
so
but
really
no, we looked at the points before. I think O'Ward he's on the fringe of being out.
Let's see.
Him and Herta.
A win is
Herta clawed his way back into this.
But there's only like a single-digit point difference between O'Ward and Herta, right? Last I checked.
Yes, it is. It's
Herta,
no. Herta and O'Ward is 14 points between them.
Right.
Herta and Dixon is 4 points. Dixon and Power is 4 points as well.
Right.
Second through fourth is tight.
It's tight, right? Yeah.
It starts to stretch.
You know what? This will be the weekend Pelot wins.
I was gonna say Pelot or Dixon's gonna pull something out of the bag and win.
Dixon does. See, I would have picked I can't pick Dixon as a dark horse because he's not dark horse.
No, he's not. You either pick
like
him
the Malukas is definitely a dark horse.
Yeah.
Connor Daly's a dark horse. I would say Romain Grosjean could be a dark horse at this race too.
Could be.
Just throwing it out there. What about Marcus Armstrong? Could he? Never know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just for a bigger look on the season, there's 5 races remaining, and a win for the race is worth 50 points. So total of 250 points up for grabs.
How
Yeah.
far is Palou ahead?
Palou is 49.
Okay.
So yeah, either Will, Scott, or Colton have to make up ground ASAP.
And when we say Scott, we're talking Dixon.
Dixon, yeah.
Yeah. Wins, Sean.
So
right?
and it goes from 49 to
Chip likes winners.
57
Yeah.
points difference there.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's or unless Pato goes on a tear and just wins out the rest of the season, which
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean it'll be tough. I mean, like I mean, Palou hasn't. Well, he's had 2 races where he's finished outside of the top 10. Everything else has been within the top 5. So
Gotcha.
even
Hello.
even if he finishes 5th for the rest of the 5 races, whoever wins is gaining 20 points on him every race.
Gotcha.
So, and that would, yeah,
he needs.
It's gonna be
he
tough.
needs. Yeah, so he needs like Newgarden or McLaughlin to win this weekend.
Yeah.
He finishes, decently, minimizes the damage, and then wins at Portland.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's got to do.
Yeah, I mean, he can't.
And then what is it? They go to Milwaukee.
It's
two.
It's
There's
Gateway.
2 races.
It's Gateway this weekend. Then they go to Portland, and then it's 2 at Milwaukee, and then they finish at Nashville.
Crashville.
So it's 4 of the last 5 are ovals.
Ovals, yeah. Milwaukee. I hear Michael Andretti's
that
coming
French?
back to that race. Michael Andretti's coming back to that race.
Can he fit in the cockpit?
No, he can't. No, I might. I think I could actually. I think I might be able to fit before Michael could. Right now, I think Michael's got a bigger front porch than I do.
Yeah,
I really do.
His words.
His words.
His words.
Well, I don't wish Michael any ill will. I'm just saying it would be kind of cool if Michael came back.
It would be.
Because
It
he
would
dominated there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Mario's driven
Marco.
F1 car more
Yeah,
recently
they should
than
enter
him.
Marco.
So.
All
I
right.
feel like he would be racing, right? Some ovals or just Indy 500 only.
Just Indy 500, but it would be nice with more ovals on there. I'd like to see him come back and do more races.
Mm.
He could be like the Takuma Sato of Andretti Racing.
Could. Yeah.
Would be fun.
Other.
Hold on, I'm refreshing. Hold on, nothing new.
Oh.
Sorry. No update.
We covered Malukas, and there wasn't anything new.
Oh, you know what we missed? Jamie Chadwick got a test.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't.
That's right.
That's exciting news.
Yeah.
Did
it happen
And
already?
I think no, it hasn't happened yet. But I think her teammate Louis Foster is also going to get a test. He's very good too.
Yes. Yep.
Really good. Very impressed by him as I am of Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
quick
stuff.
NASCAR news. Quick NASCAR news.
Oh,
Eric Jones signed an extension on his
Nate,
43
we need
car.
Nate,
Come on,
Nate.
what?
We need the real
Come on,
news. Come
it's
on.
news.
No,
Nate,
we need the real
we need the real news. Not worrying about some.
that.
I'm not worrying about some ham and egg signing with Legacy Motorsports.
Yeah. There should be just like an option to meet Ricky Stenhouse and Austin Dillon in one setting and just be like, what was that night like? Can you tell me what August 11th was like?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, I laughed. I seriously laughed my ass off when Stenhouse brought the yellow out. I was like, thank God there's a God. And then it just, oh crap.
God's like, yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah. Just, I mean, honestly, if that kid did not have I swear, I don't know who would have got to him first, Logano or Hamlin. I don't know who would have killed him.
I would have guessed Denny Hamlin, but I'm surprised he was as calm as he was. He just
I think Denny tries not to do it and get too wound up because I don't think MJ's like all about that. You know, I think MJ kind of wants you to be kind of cool, even though he's on Gibbs. You know, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good with Denny because he's a car owner. You know,
I know. Come on, where's the Denny Hamlin that attacked Brad Keselowski? Like Matt Kenseth that attacked Brad Keselowski. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm a Keselowski
Exactly.
fan, but I kind of, come on, Dennis.
Yeah.
Let's,
I kind of wish it was bad.
put our
Brad that got
balls on the
wrecked,
table, right? Come
because
on.
if Bad Brad got wrecked, he would have went after him.
Yeah, but that's two owners going at it. That would have. Oh my god, that would have made my year.
Bad Brad going after Dylan. That would have been awesome.
See.
Anyway, all right. Well, Nate,
Did-
thanks for taking time to join us for this epic NASCAR coverage. I mean, this is, I think we might have lost the 2 listeners we had, but
Yeah, but hey, listen. Like I said, I couldn't bite my tongue on this. I had
oh
to.
my god, Yeah.
I couldn't believe what. So you saw what I was texting you. I was just like,
Yeah.
gosh, what?
I can't wait till you try and get your shipmates to enjoy the spectacle that is NASCAR.
Well, do you want to hear something? The classmate I'm going to on the ship with.
I wasn't talking to classmates.
Yes,
I'm talking.
no, but
I'm talking to
listen to
your
Hold
this.
on, this is a good story.
So wait, but Sean, I tell you, this guy, his name's Max. He's from Ohio. But what ended up happening was I showed him
Is the last
NASCAR.
name
This is the
Verstappen?
first. This. Well, listen, he knows Max Verstappen. He knows F1. He's just never seen a NASCAR race. So I was like, all right, I got the TV on. Here it is. Let's watch it. And so I'm watching it, and he's, watching the end, and I'm like, I can't believe what happened. There's overtime. You're about to see overtime. It's crazy. And then I was like, about to throw. Seriously, I was about to throw the TV out the window and throw the remote. And I was just, I couldn't believe what I was watching. It's like, damn, is that legal? And I'm like, it shouldn't be.
Oh, so it was this race.
Yeah, this was his first race he watched.
Oh,
And that's kind of rough.
that's epic.
That's crazy, right? Crazy.
That's epic.
Jeez.
Epic.
Right. That's a tough first NASCAR race to watch.
Well, there you go. Very exciting.
The only speaking of Verstappen and F1, the only news that I've heard in there is just some rumor that Aston Martin is trying to sign Verstappen and Newey at the same time.
You saw that post, right? Where the beach ball had the number 33 on it?
Yeah,
Come
they
on.
also they made a post today of, oh, we're on summer break, hope you're enjoying it, as a beach ball goes by with the number 33 on it. And I'm like,
Kinda sus.
okay, all right. We'll see it. We'll kind of, again, I mean, with anything, we'll believe it when we see it, especially these days, because there's been so much going around. But
who are they going to park?
That's
Girl.
the interesting topic of it, of like, do you actually sit out your son and put forward the 2 guys that are actually going to develop that car?
What are you talking about? Sit out. It's basically
He's a development driver.
It's like, okay, playtime's over. You can go,
Like
play
over
tennis
there.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, no. They're gonna put him in the second Valkyrie, in IMSA.
Oh.
They won't even put him in WEC. They'll send him to IMSA.
Yeah.
And they'll only run the endurance series, so he can't. It's only 3 races.
Limited. Very
Yeah.
limited.
Anyway. Anything else? That's it. I refreshed again. No news.
No,
Elton. I'm gonna place a call to NASCAR headquarters right now.
Right. Hey, Steve Phelps.
I'm gonna ask for Elton Sawyer, please.
Steve O'Donnell. What the hell's going on?
Yes. What's going on?
What do you call this?
Anyway.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
One last thing. The McMurdy set the uphill at the Corkscrew Hill climb that they had out at Laguna Seca. Yeah. Yeah.
They brought it over?
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a hill climb that Laguna Seca has, where they go from the start finish line reverse up the track to
They
the
go,
top of the corkscrew.
They go down to the hairpin, like the final corner.
They go to
right?
the final corner, then at the right there,
Then they
and then
go
make the left.
backwards all the way up.
Yep, up to the top of the hill, and then when you get to the top of the
Holy
hill,
hell.
that's up there is where the finish line is.
Yeah, and
what
then
they
they
have
coast down the hill.
and then they'll come back down, whatever. But yeah, they they brought the McMurray there, and they did it.
Is there video of this?
There is videos somewhere. I saw them, but the time. So the second place and third place cars were a 1967 Ford Falcon, driven by Martin Lauber, and he did it in a 29.004 seconds. Third place was a 2022 Ferrari SF90, driven by Christine Sloss, and or Slaus. Apologies.
Yeah, I don't know.
That.
I have no idea who these people are.
29.8. So, all right, and then the McMurray.
Who drove the McMurray?
Max Chilton.
Was it Chilton?
He won.
Oh my god!
By
in 10 seconds?
By 7 seconds, and did it in a 21.9. So
you hear this? I mean, Max Chilton and him in that car, they have the track record at Goodwood.
He did it at almost.
Does he, or did Dumas beat it this year?
Where?
At Goodwood. Dumas? Who's got the?
No. There was no track record broken at Goodwood this year.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Because the McMurray just showed up as a demo car. It was there, but it didn't.
Yeah, no,
it didn't go for time.
No,
is like, why not?
But the McMurray the previous time, I think, still had it.
Oh yeah, the thing was friggin'.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
The second generation didn't try and beat the first gen, I don't think.
Oh man, so Ford's got to bring the super van to Laguna next year.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd be fun. All right. Well.
But yeah.
All right. And on that note, Nate.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.